r/AskReddit. What double standard disgusts you? Right now in Canada, we're in strict lockdown, but a dozen of our politicians have been found vacationing around the globe. In other words, we can't bury grandma at a funeral, but these politicians can go work their tan. Thankfully, many of them have resigned in the last 2 weeks. In America, the politicians can barely get the words out of their mouth by the time they're breaking the rules. None of them ever resign either. Hell, in California, a city councilwoman literally voted to ban indoor dining and then immediately went out to eat following the vote. Here in Denver, the mayor made a statement about staying home for Thanksgiving from the Duckine airport. If you always arrive to work late, you're in big trouble. If work never finishes on time, shrug, no big deal. I offered to work extra hours in a salaried position to get the company over a hurdle if they'd do the honorable thing and comp me hour for my trouble. Outright refused, because you're salaried, even though my giving up a few weekends would make a huge difference for their bottom line. So when they tried the extra hours mandatory free overtime thing later, I told them to piss up a rope. Nice, duck em. When I leave a job, I'm generally expected to give 2 weeks notice so the company isn't left without essential things being done. When a company decides to let me go though, no warning to start putting in applications or saving more money, you're just gone. Total horse shit. A woman with her kids is taking care, a man with his kids is babysitting. I went to the bank with my kids once and I got hit with being Mr. Mom. I am their primary caregiver. I get hit with that crap when I take my kids to the physician. I didn't bring a pacifier when my infant got a shot. He didn't need one anyway. And the nurse says, "Don't worry, I won't tell your wife." I snapped back and said, "I'm the one who made the damn appointment." My dad got this bullshit a lot too. He was a single father. I wish I could spend one day talking to my mother the way she talks to me, sniping at her over every mistake, shouting her name from across the house and expecting her to drop everything and come talk to me, dismissing anything she says that I don't agree with by just saying no with no actual argument and expecting her to drop it. Edit. There are a lot of people replying to this by saying, "Nobody else supports the way she acts. So this isn't a double standard. This is just abuse." There are also a lot of people replying by saying, "You must be a teenager and therefore automatically whining about nothing. There's nothing wrong with your mom's behavior." And quite a few more saying, "I'm an independent adult and my parents act the same way." Think about that. I posted this here because I don't consider it abuse, or particularly unusual. It's more like the parental equivalent of a microaggression. If that makes sense. We usually get along well, and the stuff I described is never enough for me to get upset over. But it's just sort of a subtle reminder that my mom, like a lot of parents of adult children, still sees me as slightly less than her, and never even thinks about the things she does that would piss her off if I did them. And for what it's worth, I'm 34, have a job, pay rent, and buy what I need myself. I'm only living with my parents now, at their encouragement, because I lost my previous job in March, wasn't sure at the time how long it would take to find a new one, and haven't wanted to go house hunting during a pandemic. Although for that matter, I never said I lived with them in the first place, and I would be surprised if mom suddenly changed how she acts around me when I visit her after moving out. Me. Logical argument with facts, mom. Well, no, because I said so. Me. Mom, can I please have some choco milk? Mom, I don't want to fight with you. Probably a bit late and will get buried. But the one that probably affects me the most directly is that idea that if I have my kids out with me alone, I'm either some miracle from the heavens doing God's work. A stranger actually said that to me. Or hearing the "or is it daddy's day to babysit? Duck you Karen, I'm the stay-at-home parent and IT's not babysitting when they're my duckine kids. Mr. Mom came out in 1983 and I still can't get a break about it. The bar for being a good dad is super low too. Being able to dress my son and change his nappy does not make a super dad, merely a competent dad. See, this just sucks for everyone, both mom and dad. Anything the mom does is expected and the dad gets treated like he doesn't have a right or responsibility to be a parent. Absolutely useless double standard. This is one of those sort by controversial posts. I'm a straight male. I went to a gay bar with some gay women and their straight married women friends. One of the straight women was being basically sexually harassed by another gay woman there, to the point of being chased around the table, all the while saying she was married to a guy and she wanted nothing to do with it. The whole bar was laughing. If I did that to a woman in a regular bar, I'd get my ass kicked, thrown out, or arrested. I've lived this, but it had an extra layer of gross BC. I was an out trans man and the person targeting me thought they could rape me into a lesbian. I am not attracted to women. She wouldn't take that for an answer. The entire house party was in my face telling me I was in the wrong. They each had a different BS reason. I've never been so happy to leave a party in my life. Business should do whatever it takes to get ahead, but if the employee tries to make their life better or find a new job, they are lazy and ungrateful. Recently on here there was a thread about employers hiding the pay for a posted position. Most people hated it as it was a waste of time to get to the point where they are willing to tell you the pay and it's an insulting amount. A few people were defending it. One guy said that it only makes sense for the employer to hide this from you and try to manipulate you about pay. From the employer's point of view, they need to pay you as little as possible, and if they post a salary then people who want more than that will not apply. So no chance to underpay someone who is worth more, and they will have to deal with people who aren't good enough for that meager salary. So according to this guy, really, it's for the best that they try to screw you with hidden a salary for job postings. He's saying this as if we're supposed to just agree with it and not stand up for ourselves and just bend over and take it. But us demanding to know the salary during the first contact about a job? Unacceptable. How dare we try to interfere with the company trying to screw us? What makes that even worse is it isn't even good for the company. It isn't like people do the interview on their free time. Everyone involved is wasting time. That costs money. Further, training people up and having them leave is a huge money sink for companies. I worked at a place that would intentionally hire people out of college and lowball them because the new hires didn't know any better. And then they would act shocked when those people would leave after 6 months of training to take a job making twice as much with the skills. I remember listening to a manager say that we were just losing money training these guys, and how they were so ungrateful. One of our senior guys was like, "Wait, you're paying them what? Well then I'm your problem. I'm the one telling them what they should be making in this industry." Can't really be mad at the kids for finding out you used their ignorance against them. The awkward enraged silence that followed was priceless. Edit. Wow, I did not expect that to resonate with folks as much as it did. Thanks for the award and upvotes. If you owe a company money, you will be charged interest late fee service interruption almost immediately after the due date. If a company owes you money, you might see it in 4-6 weeks/2-3 billing cycles. Just to add to this, you miss your bill to your internet cable provider by a day and you pay fees out your ass. Your service goes down for a week. Oh well, you get jack shit. To avoid legal issues, in my country, ISPs add a very small detail in the fine print that says subject to 80% reliability with guaranteed minimum connection speed of 512 kilobits per second. The employee should give 2 weeks notice. Anything else is unprofessional, but the employer will actively obscure their intentions until the very last minute. I trained my replacement once, who had been introduced to me as my assistant. So obviously I wanted to teach them the job properly. I came into work after my weekend and was called over by my boss and told that my assistant had transitioned into my position and thank you for helping them ease into the role. Edit. I did not realize so many people went through the same thing. Holy crap. Holy shit, that's evil. Basically being against violence but making comments about how men will get raped in prison. It's disgusting and it's so mainstream. Every cop show makes some comment about prison rape being okay. Even shows like SVU where their entire storyline should be about protecting people. Former inmate here. I can tell. You can be the strongest of all but still be raped. Seen it right with my eyes. And let me tell you, no person in a cellmate would joke about it. Yes, it happens. Yes, they make jokes about it. When I was in therapy a couple of months ago, the therapist asks me about if I have ever been raped, and she laughs like this is some sort joke. Since then I said no to the therapy. I was put down. They tried rape me. I got stabbed 3-4 times before they left me, if not for the small piece of metal I had. Unless you are a pimp. I have always seen people joke about it. Even my father. Like he says I deserved all of it. I can't stop myself from telling how hard people make you to express. Prisons are not jokes. It is not only about dropping a soap. It gets worse. No one can get it till they see it with their eyes, and when they will, I bet they could even speak a word. Edit. Sorry it turned into a rant. Please don't apologize for ranting. You have valid emotions and feelings and deserve somewhere to share them. I'm really sorry for what you experienced and what your therapist said to you. I sincerely hope you find a therapist who respects you and treats your traumas for what they are rather than a joke.